having the right tool for the right job is very important. When you're bleeding your lighter, you want the correct tool to do it the right way. These tools are all assembled by hand. Yeah, they're all made here in Florida. Speaking of making, can anybody make me a new O-ring installer? That's what it is. Any tool and die makers out there? We changed the design, so we shortened up the brass bleeding tip to save, I don't know, it was like a half a penny, which may not seem like a lot, but I have to order these, I don't know, 5,000-6,000 at a time. However, I have to basically buy the machine for a week, and it just runs them 8 hours a day for 5 days, however many it makes, I get, be it 3,000 or 6,000. So I used to have this little fixture. I'd put them in and I'd put the O-ring down and it would slide into place, but it was made for the longer brass tip. So now I have to hold it in place. So I kind of need a smaller one, because this holding it in the hand, I've gotten used to it. I've probably done a couple thousand of them like this, but I would like to go back to my fixture. So if anybody can make an O-ring installer, I'll pay you for it or trade you some cigars. So this simple little tool, I don't know how many we've sold now. We're probably about on 15,000 of them or so. You're probably doing the math in your head, maybe like, Kevin, that's just a lot of money. Yeah, it is. But, I'm getting ready to place an order for more brass tips. That's depending on how many I get, I say like a half a penny, but, that'll be a $6,000, order. When I order the 2-piece ones, that's usually about a $3,500 and $4,000 minimum order. The 1-piece ones, that's generally around a $2,500 to $3,000 order. So that's not too bad. The O-rings are the only thing. I order these O-rings by the thousands, and they're only like a penny a piece, and I order that many of them. Sometimes I get them for less than a penny a piece, because they're small. But yeah, it's the keychain attachments. The only thing that I had to buy overseas. Can't find anybody make like keychain attachments here in the States. And finally, after like 2 years, I found the manufacturer, because I was paying at one point. I was getting them at a good price, and then they like tripled in price, where they were like 65 cents a piece, and that was just too much. So I finally found the manufacturer overseas, and then I think now I had to buy 20,000 of them, but I think I ended up getting them for like 20 cents a piece. I don't know how much that is, but that's a lot. Even that. So yeah, it's who'd have thought all these years ago. But talking about using the right tool. This simple little tool, it built this. It built this lounge. It built this empire, as I call it. I still remember going, Steve, on your next soapstone thing, for the right-handed people, we need a cigar rest on the right side, because it's only on the left. And then if you do it around this way, same thing, it's only on the left. I would put 4 if I was the one spending the money on making these. But yeah, we need one for right-handed people. It seems like this was made for a left-handed person. I don't know. I don't know if Steve's left-handed or not. So who would have, I say to put it right-handed, now I got to put it away from me. So who would have thought, and I know that the guys at the machine shop, when I placed my first order, those will never sell. Those will never sell, and they have never stopped selling. They have never wavered. It has been month by month, year by year. It has always been more. And I'm super excited to say that we finally got our first knockoff. I was on eBay the other day, and I saw someone knock off my little bleed tool, and super, super excited about that. Some people are like, oh, you going to go after him? Let him do his thing. There's plenty of business for all of us. Plus his does not look very good at all. Hopefully he or she, hopefully they refine the design a little bit, but it looks janky. So it is what it is. This is the job everybody hates. That's why this is the job that Kevin does. I have to assemble all the brass tips in here myself, pressing them in. No, I don't trust anybody to do that job. These brass tips are expensive, and every now and then I'll break one and I will kick myself in the ass. Because usually I'll break it inside one of these. So now I lose 2 pieces, and then I'll have like an extra cap. Well, these are anodized in bulk, so I can't even keep a cap because no 2 batches ever come out the same color. So yeah, so that's always a pain in the butt. I had Gabby earlier tonight. She's our packaging queen. She's our Amazon packaging queen. She gets all these in the clamshell container. That's another thing. Clamshells and inserts for that. Every time I place an order for that, that's $2,000 just for that. Become a small business owner, they said. Get richiest, they said. I don't know who they is, but they lied. But she works cheap. She works in slushies. I figured while I went up to Wawa to get her compensation, which is 1 extra large slushie, I'd get one for myself. She is a mixture. She likes to mix. That is blasphemy. I like choosing one flavor, and that is Coca-Cola. What kind of time we looking at here? Okay, so we got time. So yeah, I like Coca-Cola. I wish I made a Diet Coke slushie. I bet that would be better. But I don't drink these very often. Probably a couple times a year, and that's it. It is pairing quite delectably. I mean, like a match made in heaven with my Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust Sober Mesa Brulee. The sweet with sweet is actually quite tasty. So yeah, this is where I'll be this is the most time-consuming part of this whole process, is these stupid little O-rings. And there's a lot to put that O-ring on there. We tried these to begin with without the O-ring. We had to redesign it several times to make the cut just perfectly for that O-ring to slide in there, and for this cap to go slightly over the O-ring and provide some resistance so these don't come apart on your keychain. But yeah, who'd have thought this little thing, after all these years, would it would still be selling. It's a great little tool. No moving parts. Everybody needs one. We ship them all over the world. I just sent 100 of them to Switzerland yesterday. So, but yeah, it's I look back all those many years ago, and just an idea that found a couple of guys that smoked cigars. One of them owned a machine shop. The other guy worked at said machine shop. And the rest, as they say, is history. So yeah, anybody that can design me a little fixture with an O-ring installer, I would definitely appreciate it. It'd probably make this job just a little bit easier. It used to be easier, a little easier than this, but as you can see, I've just gotten used to installing it this way, so it's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, I would kind of like an O-ring installer. I'd like a 2-piece O-ring installer to where I can set it in there, put the O-ring on there, and then have the other piece that goes down over it. I never had one of those made, but yeah, so I could just slap it down on there instead of just having to push it down by hand. But because now, like I said, this is what happens. But yeah, that's what I'm doing tonight. Just chilling out here, watching some YouTube. There's a great, what kind of time we're almost out of time. I'm watching a thing on the I think it's today we found out, it was on the Japanese Holocaust. Oh my God, it is powerful. Simon Whistler, my favorite YouTuber. I'm about halfway through. This one's about 2 hours. Most of his video is only about 30 minutes. Look it up. It is a really, really good video. All right, cats and kittens, make sure you give your cigars the props they deserve and your lighters the bleed tool they deserve.